Well, hello there, friends. So good to see you all here. My name is Oscar the Kangaroo. Today, I'm here to review my first ever game. How exciting! Anyways, let's get started. Today, we're going to review Animator's Hell. However, this is only the demo, but who cares? Now, let's get started. Animator's Hell is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game developed by the Animator's Hell dev team. The game's director is Hunter, and it is also co-directed/created by Sammy TFM. As quoted by the GameJolt page, it is the ultimate FNAF SFM mashup. It features various FNAF animators and plenty of references from the FNAF animation community. It's basically FNAF Ultimate Custom Night, but with animators. What fun! The game has gone through a lot of builds and cancellations according to the FNAF fan game wiki. The earliest demo was from August 14th, 2018. Now, for this review, I'll be reviewing version 1.0.4, since that's the latest build of the demo as of writing this. The game it's got a lot of features, including an OST, cool voice acting, and office customization. The newest demo came out on April 1st, 2020, originally slated for April 4th of the same year. You think it'd be an April Fool's joke, but no, it was indeed the real deal. Anyways, with the newest demo out for the public to enjoy, let's check it out and review it, shall we? Now, before I start on the gameplay, I should confess to something. I went pretty easy on myself while playing this. It was pretty easy for me to die, even if I only had 2 characters on. Most of the time, I would just play with 1 character activated. I also picked a lot of the easier characters, but I did try to sprinkle in a little difficulty while playing. Anyways, let's get to the gameplay. Let's talk mechanics. Some mechanics feel pretty generic for FNAF fan games. However, there are plenty of interesting mechanics as well. One example is Zap Lord's mechanic. You basically have to play a simplified version of Pac-Man to avoid death from them. It's a fun little mechanic. It can even also be a little challenging. It has a timer and you have to avoid the ghosts, but overall, it works well and it's unique. The controls feel very smooth. They're not too fast or too slow. They're essentially at a perfect speed. In terms of difficulty, I think it's pretty standard stuff. The power drains at a reasonable rate. The mechanics aren't too hard. Although, I can't multitask that well, so I did have an extra challenge. But yeah, difficulty wasn't that bad. It's also nice that most of the keys that you'll be using are in the same area of your keyboard. There aren't many keys needed, and that's definitely an improvement to the cluster of controls in Ultimate Custom Night. Now, while I'm a bit of a scaredy cat, a good friend of mine named Packard Fam was the first to complete a round with all 16 characters on. Isn't that great? I dub thee King of Animator's Hell. Yeah, the gameplay is pretty great. While I'd personally suggest more unique mechanics, I'll cut some slack, since this is only the first demo. From what I've heard, this isn't even half of the full roster. Let's see if you can keep that crown, buddy. I believe in you! Let's talk about them visuals. I'll start with lighting. To summarize what I'm about to say, it's beautiful. The lighting in this game is so good, it honestly feels like a 3D game sometimes, although it's more than just the lighting that gives the game that effect. Now, I wouldn't say the game is 100% realistic. However, the lighting, it's honestly pretty lifelike. It honestly gives the atmosphere a nice touch. I also like the pixelated static on the monitor. It fits well. The scenery and objects in this game are very well modeled. I really like the squeaky clown toy. Another part of the visuals, that would be the art. The drawings around the location are very well done. A lot of them are filled with references to various works from the animators featured in this game. Also, I really like the sprite work for the loading screen. Those were well done. Something I noticed is how the game seems to have a focus on a lot of reddish colors. There's a whole lot of red, orange, and yellow. Whether that's intentional or not, I think it works well with the aesthetic. You know, the jump scares, they were pretty nice also. I wouldn't say they were super frightening, but they got a jump out of me. Gosh, this game has some awesome music. The title screen has this slightly distorted track playing over it, and it's really nice. Have a listen. The character animations in the title screen are also pretty neat. They start off very idle, but occasionally one of the characters will make a slightly unsettling movement. When you go to the menu to select characters, this eerie music also plays on that. Not to mention, the renders of the characters in the menu make them look extra spooky. The credits have a kind of old-timey track playing, as we see a list of devs and some cool renders. It's even a nice dedication to Maxi at the end. For those of you who don't know, Maxi was an animator that had passed away in early 2020. It was unfortunate, but it's nice to see that this game is dedicated to them. Now, before I move on to characters, I want to talk about the voice acting. Instead of just getting each animator to voice themselves, the team went out and got some pretty good voice actors. I can respect that, it makes a lot of sense. I believe that the voice actors did a fantastic job with these characters. Their performances, they match the characters pretty well. For characters, there won't be too much to say, but I'll say what I can. Let's start with the basics, naming every single animator in this demo. There's Tornado, Lunatic, Cortez, Ender, Death Horse, Nightmarina, Spider, Pixel, Sunny, In the Shadows, Pangle, BWI, Valentina, Zaplord, Half Skull, and Breddy. What a crowd. It's a pretty packed roster, but like I mentioned earlier, it's barely half of the full roster. Now personally, I felt that the voice acting definitely helped give the characters personality. For the character designs though, they were awesome. Most animator OCs are basically just edited versions of already existing FNAF characters. That's not a horrible thing, and I'm not saying all animators have OCs like that, but this game, it definitely adds an original spin to these OCs. These animatronics are very stylized, and it helps make them feel a lot more like they have their own character and personality. It makes them feel more like their own character, you know? My personal favorite is Death Horse. His design, it just looks amazing, and it's pretty spooky. But yeah, that's actually all I have to say for characters. Yeah, that's it. As of right now, there doesn't really seem to be a story for this game. That could change, but for now it just seems to be a nice, fun horror game. Not much story, just a big focus on gameplay and visuals. I think that works well with this game. It doesn't need some big fancy story with a bunch of lore. However, if they did make a story, I wouldn't be complaining. But I don't expect that to be the case as of right now. Here are my final thoughts. I honestly believe this is a very solid FNAF fan game and game in general. Is it perfect? No, of course not. I don't think any game is objectively perfect. However, this game is teeming with personality. this demo, it's very promising, and I look forward to any future builds, along with the full release. I probably won't do any other reviews on this game until the full thing comes out. However, I'd like to congratulate the dev team on making a fun and exciting fan game. Overall, it's a great game. I love it. Anyways, that's all for now. I'll see you all soon.